Good morning. Welcome to Pride Time for Monday, September 19th. I'm Ms. C, and I'll be taking you through this Pride Time lesson. Teachers, if you could just do me a favor and check the volume and make sure that everyone can hear this, then you can sit back and the lesson will take care of itself. Students, if you could get your Chromebooks out and open and ready, we're going to be visiting a Google site shortly. And at the end, we're going to scan a QR code with your phone so you can have access to today's lesson anywhere you go. Welcome, Stallions. Do you know what the acronym DIY means? So the letters D, I, and Y. They stand for something. Do it yourself. This is most often used in reference to homeowner activities like decoration or repairs. There's even a DIY channel. They sell DIY kits at the home improvement stores, and it's all the craze because you can save money, time, and energy when you can do it yourself. As a DIYer myself, by the way, if I didn't take a moment to introduce myself, my name is Ms. C. I'm located in G200, and I'm an E-Tip teacher here on campus, and I teach CTE professional communication. And I've always taught my students to take care of their business themselves. So I had an idea, how can I get this on a bigger scale for all students on campus and even eventually extend to parents, guardians, the community? I had an idea to help you help yourself. You know, every day your teachers are trying to prep you for the real world. They want you to take responsibility and ownership of your academic and personal success. When a grade goes well, that's your success. When a grade goes poorly, that's on you too. When we have due dates, that's because in the real world, there's due dates when your mortgage and your cell phone bills are due. And so someday people aren't going to be around to answer your questions, to remind you of when things need to be taken care of all the time. This site is hopefully going to be just another real world prep to help you gain new skills and figure out how to do things on your own. So today I'd like to introduce you to DIY4Stallions, do it yourself. This is a one-stop collection of self-help resources created for all students here at North Mesquite High School. I'd like to take a moment to go explore the site with you. We're going to look at some of the topics and available resources and just expand all of the menus, do a sample search, and see all of the things that you can use the site for. If you could do me a favor and go to tinyurl.com/DIY, the number 4 stallions, it's going to take you to our welcome and home page. If you haven't looked up, the site is at the very top of the slide that's being displayed in the room. tinyurl.com/DIY4Stallions. Do me a favor and pause when you get there. Look up front. I've highlighted a few areas for you to see. Let's start at the top. In the upper left, there's the little magnifying glass. That's going to be your search option. That magnifying glass will be available on every single slide on the Google site. All you have to do is click it, and then a search bar will pop up for you. Now let's look over on the left side at the menu. I want you to notice the drop-down arrows that show up. The menu is actually fairly simplified in the main topics with only a couple of main topics, but underneath those main topics, they expand each time you go to one of them, and there's lots of subtopics. So some of the areas go as deep as 4 or 5 levels deep. So just look and pay attention to that so you can make sure you're not missing anything. And then you'll see I have highlighted a button. On a lot of the pages, you'll see these black buttons with topics. Those are just shortcuts or connections to different parts of the site that you might use while on that page. Hopefully everyone's at the site by now, so we can move on. If not, you'll find the website address in the bottom of the slides coming up for you to use so we can all be there together. But let's all click together the button, how to use DIY4Stallions site, help and tips. I have it highlighted on the screen above. If you haven't already, please bookmark DIY4Stallions. This is going to be a great resource for you to keep coming back to. I don't know if you know this, but staff members have a Google site for us too, and I visit it at least a couple of times a week. Anytime I have a question about anything, I pop over there, I search, and I usually can find my answer within minutes and take care of business on my own. So I'm not going to take you line by line on how to use DIY4Stallions or this Google site, but I just want you probably the first time or two you use it to visit here to remind yourself on what you're doing and how to take care of business. Inside this Google site, we have embedded slides, image carousels, hyperlinks, and a whole bunch of resources for you, embedded YouTube videos, and I just want to make sure you know how to utilize all the sources. So when you get a moment, scroll down through here. It's probably one time that you have to pay attention to this, but it's important that you understand how to use the site. Okay. My image went away for this. Did you all see that? So let's just make sure and try again. There we go. Let's do a sample search together. So I think we're all on the how to use website page. And if we remember, the little magnifying glass is going to be in the upper right corner. Go ahead and click that. It's going to then bring up a search bar. Click inside the bar, and that's where you put whatever word you want to search. Today, let's just search together for the word test. T-E-S-T. I know a lot of times that you guys always want to know, when are we taking this test? When are we doing that? When is the PSAT? How do we register? So when you search for the word test, it's going to come up like a usual Google search, and it's going to give you the results in a list format. It'll show you the topic on the DIY site that it's under and where the word appears in it in the little preview. It'll bold it for you. This helps you to preview and decide which link is going to be best suited for your needs today. So you'll notice that test is listed 6 separate times on DIY4Stallions. We have our testing calendar, testing help, it's under the senior updates, coming soon, and if you'll notice, those two are the same. They're both for the TSI testing. It's under calendars, and then IO. So if you click on one of those, any of those, it will take you to that topic, and then you'll be able to search the page. So if you find yourself doing a search and or expanding all the menu options and you see that something's missing that you think should be on the site for all stallions, please tell me. Suggestions are wanted and very, very important for continuous improvement of the website. I have feedback and suggestion forms at the bottom of every page on DIY4Stallions. I embedded it to make it quick and easy. Please use it and help me make this the best tool for you. Your feedback is also welcome. You might be like, how is feedback different from suggestions? Well, suggestion is something you want to see, and feedback is thinking about how the site is laid out, the function, the resources. And so they're similar-ish, but different enough. So feedback is the only way to make this 100% for all stallions with your help. Maybe I missed something that was really important. Maybe my website is boring. I've already made some improvements based on feedback. And this is a time that I want to give a few shout outs. The baseball team, they were my very, very first guinea pigs, as Coach Randolph called it, and they let me come to them at the very, very early stages of this concept before it wasn't even DIY4Stallions. It was still based on my class I taught Pro-Com. Newcomers allowed me to come and practice some of the sample lessons with them and look at emails. Fresh you were the very, very first ones to see the Google site format because it's evolved all the way from a couple of Google slide lessons to this. And my current students in professional communication, shout out to you all. Many of you gave me really specific feedback and helped me to evolve it and just sharpen it this last week. So thank you to all of you for helping me out. And thank you to the rest of you that are going to hopefully provide feedback and suggestions in the future. If you can get your phones out now, go ahead and scan this QR code. It's going to take you to DIY4Stallions on your phone, and I highly recommend you do a bookmark. Again, you can search this anytime, any place. If you're at home on Sunday night, it's 10 o'clock, and you're like, what's tomorrow's Spirit Day? Boom, pull out your phone, go to DIY4Stallions, and look under School Spirit or Spirit Days. So I just want to thank you to everyone for participating today, for feedback and suggestions that you either submitted today during this lesson or you will in this 10 minutes of exploration, and for your future visits to DIY4Stallions. If you want to give in-person feedback and suggestions, please come visit Miss C in G200. I welcome them, and I look forward to creating and adding resources to this site for you in the future. Have a great week, Stallions. Pride and courage conquers all.